so much. Thousands of runners and more than 1 million spectators will pack into Boston today for its first marathon since last year's bombings. Some 400 Wisconsin runners have been training all year for today's race. Our Cody Holyoke is live in Boston today, where he's been catching up with some of our local athletes. Cody?
Vinny, Susan, good morning. Boston is ready for the marathon this Monday. Runners are everywhere here at Boston Common, lining up, checking in, getting screened before they get on the bus and head to the start of the race in Hopkinton, more than 26 miles from here. As you said, 36,000 people will compete in the 2014 running of the Boston Marathon, including nearly 400 from Wisconsin. And they're a good bunch. We spotted racers this weekend as they got their packets and their numbers. The finish line at Copley Square, it was a sight to behold. Many runners cried near the finish line where the first bomb went off more than a year ago. There's also, though, a sense of pride in keeping this tradition going, keeping the Boston Marathon Boston strong. We caught up with one Brookfield couple who decided returning to this city was just the right thing to do.
I wasn't going to come back this year after the bombing last year, and she convinced me that you have to go back. You have to show that you're not going to back down to terrorism. You're not going to back down and be afraid of this type of thing, not be intimidated.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Especially for the children. We had my children here last year, and we were 2 blocks away when it happened. And I don't want my children to be afraid, so it's important to bring them back, to show them not to be afraid of what had happened, and to remember also what had happened.
Runners will carry that sentiment with them as they push through this race. Security is very tight around the marathon. As many as 1 million people are expected to be here today, cheering on these runners as they make their way into Copley Square and finish the race. We'll be catching up with Wisconsin runners throughout the day. We just talked to one lady from Franklin. We'll have that for you later today. And of course, as soon as they get off the finish line, we'll be talking to them as well. Live in Boston, Cody Holyoke, today's TMJ4.
And Cody, you touched on security being really tight. I think it was the Boston mayor or police chief saying that Boston is going to be the safest city in America today.
And I think that's the feeling that you'll get from the majority of these runners here. We've seen just in the past hour or so the roads blocked off here. There are at least a dozen police cars off to my left side here. 3,500 police officers, I believe, around the city of Boston, including undercover officers. We spotted a couple of them today as well. There are bag restrictions. Runners can't bring anything but a clear bag with them on the bus, and then anything that they leave at the starting line, extra sweatshirt or running pants, gets donated to charity. So they're really tightening down here, and they have to when you have about 1 million spectators lining the route.
All right, Cody Holyoke live for us in Boston. We'll check back in with you in a little bit, Cody. Thank you.